years later, in January 1787, Maestro Mozart was invited to Prague. It was lively from the beginning. Despite the freeze, there was music and singing heard from afar. Wrapped up in sheepskins and warmed with wine, they whooped in the carriage. Amadeus and his Constanza with a few friends, musicians. They also took a servant and a dog along, passing the time by making up nicknames.
Lumpus Pumpus, Chabla Pompa, Sagadarata, Gaule Maule, Funze Funze.
Throughout the winter, the marriage of Figaro was enjoying triumph after triumph. The Praguers wanted to repay Mozart for the joy his music had been giving them. He had left all his troubles in Vienna. For the first time, he indulged himself with a holiday. Amadeus had heard about Prague before, that it was a musicopolis, a city of music, the conservatory of Europe. He had made friends with dozens of musicians that had come from Prague. Now he could get to know Prague himself. He rode along the royal route, which had been the route of royal visitors from time immemorial, around the old town square with the renowned astronomical clock. At the tower, he encountered a surprise.
This is my own music. It has only been heard in palaces. Here, it lives in the streets.
Across the Vltava River, the carriage headed towards the castle and the stately homes.
The cream of society gathered at Count Thun's palace to greet Mozart. Noblemen, scholars, artists, and ladies in festive gowns. First among them, the concert singer Josephine Duschek, the talk of royal courts. The King of Saxony had ordered a life-size portrait of her. He bestowed so much favor on her that his throne nearly toppled down with him. She and Mozart gave a concert together for the Emperor Joseph II.
Wolfgang wrote an enthusiastic letter to Vienna about his success in Prague.
I neither danced nor flirted. The former because I was too tired. The latter because of my inborn foolishness. But I watched with pleasure how everybody skipped to the music of my Figaro. People here were talking of nothing else but Figaro. Nothing else is being played, sung or whistled, but Figaro.
Se vuol ballare, signor Contino, se vuol ballare, signor Contino, il chitarrino le suonerò, il chitarrino le suonerò, sì.
Of course, we took Mozart to see his Figaro. the theatre smelt of novelty.
The Nostitz Theatre had been built to serve patriae et musis, the country and the muses. Mozart was especially taken by the high quality of the singers and the orchestra.
It seems that my orchestra is in Prague.
The audiences in Prague loved not only Mozart's music, but also the spirit of revolt. They clapped as the servant Figaro ridiculed his master. What was not allowed to be said, he had decided to put into song. He insisted on conducting the next performance.
Non piangrai farfallone amoroso, notte e giorno d'intorno girando, belle belle turbando e riposo, narcisetto adoncino d'amor. Belle belle turbando e riposo, narcisetto adoncino d'amor. Non più avrai questi bei pennattini, quel cappello leggero e galante.
When he reached the aria Non più andare, Amadeus gestured to the audience. The whole theatre started to sing, almost bringing the house down, with Mozart shouting,
My Praguers, understand me.
Avrai quei pennattini, quel cappello, quella fiamma, quell'aria brillante. Non ti andrai farfallone amoroso, notte e giorno d'intorno girando, belle belle turbando il riposo, narcisetto adoncino d'amore.
There was no end to the applause. Mozart prepared a musical gift for his Praguers. He invited them to the theatre for Friday.
On Friday, 19th of January, Mozart presented his symphony in D major for the first time. It would enter music history as his Prague Symphony.
Amadeus was always particular about his clothes. He dressed up for the premiere with extra care.
All that could be expected from the great artist he fulfilled perfectly.
Breathtaking intensity. No more trifling rococo. The audience wouldn't let Mozart go. He sat down at the piano and asked, "What shall I play for you?" And the crowd replied in unison, "Something from Figaro."
Mozart's genius found it hard to bear the fact that the nobles, Many of them, not being enlightened, enjoyed all the privileges. The best minds of the time, regardless of their ancestry and assets, began gathering secretly in the name of justice and freedom, setting up Masonic lodges. Mozart was a member of the Zur Wohltätigkeit Lodge in Vienna. Now he was introduced to the Prague Brotherhood. He received 1,000 gulden for his appearance in Prague. On top of that, the theatre impresario offered him an advance for another opera for Prague. Mozart gladly accepted.